Hello and welcome back to Stacey Chantel Skincare channel, or welcome here if you're new. In today's video, I'm sharing with you my Gua Sha routine. This is actually a video that I have been requested quite a bit for, but I just never felt like I quite was ready to share my routine or found the right routine, but I feel like I'm at the point now where I have found a routine. What you're gonna need for this routine is a Gua Sha and a face oil of some sorts. So I have tried many different kinds of gua shas and face oils, and these are the two that have stood out and really suit me and that I prefer from everything that I've used. So let's talk about the Gua Sha first. This is the Gua Sha that I use. You can see that it has a kind of irregular shape. There's lots of curves to it, and let me explain the curves a little bit here. So it has a sharper curve here to contour around like the jawline and just sharper contours of the face and body, whereas it also has some softer contours here to match against the softer contours of the face and body. But here it has that jagged edge, so this is really nice for fascia release and just helping to break up stagnation. And then it has some smooth surfaces as well, so it's a really nice thin lightweight jade stone. And I find that this is most suitable to contour all sorts of different curves for my face, and just the most versatile gua sha tool that I have found. So this is my preferred tool. And then next is my face oil. I have tried a lot of face oils and this one really exceeds them all. This is ÂN-BALM. Let me show you what it looks like here. It's just like that. It's this beautiful green face balm, but it turns into an oil upon contact with heat or the skin. So this is a waxless face balm, so it's not going to feel heavy, it's not going to clog the pores, so even acneic skins can use this and they won't get breakouts. And take it from me, I break out easily from products and this does not break me out whatsoever. In fact, I find that it actually improves my appearance of breakouts. And there is so much that I could say about this. I love it so much, but I feel like that's a whole nother video. And in terms of face oils, this is probably the lightest oil that I have found. It does not feel greasy and heavy on the skin whatsoever, but you do get a nice good glide for when you're doing gua sha, which is great because you don't want to be tugging at the skin. You do need something that does provide that slip, so you're not tugging and just very gentle with the skin. And I find this provides that while also benefiting my skin. So it's a win-win. Those two products are my go-to, and they're actually available to purchase at Stacey Chantel Skincare. So I will leave the links for those in the description if you are interested in doing my exact same routine. All right, let's get into it now. So in my routine, the first thing that I do is stimulate my lymph nodes. There are many lymph nodes across the face and body, but let me show you the main ones here that I stimulate. So first will be on the collarbone. This, you just want to do a tapping motion. You can do kind of like a little pinching motion as well. Just want to stimulate and activate that area. Once you've done that a couple times, then we're going to move on to the neck here. So right at the top of the neck, beneath the earlobe and right at the end of the jawbone, there is a little crevice there. In that crevice is where the lymph nodes are. You might be able to feel them with like little hard bumps. So do a light press and twist movement. Kind of just doing little circles. Just a couple times. Okay, now we're gonna do the jaw. So just go right along kind of the middle of that jaw there, top and bottom. Just want to awaken that area. You can also do a little back and forth tapping. Okay, once we've done that, then we're gonna move to the ears. So right in front of the ears here, like right in front of it, I'm just gonna go back and forth. Just a couple times. and then right like right at the top of the ear before your earlobe, not earlobe, sorry, before your ear curves, kind of right there. You just want to do that circle motion again, just a few times. Okay, and then now the sides of the nose. So for this, you want to go kind of right where those nasal folds end. Go maybe just a smidge above that on either side of the nose, in the little crevice between where your bone goes up and where it flattens out, right in between there in that crevice. And you just want to activate, do little pumping motions. Okay, and then now the eyes. Right underneath where the brows begin is the lymph nodes for the eyes and for the forehead. You just want to smooth and pump that area a little bit. You just want to apply light pressure. Think of giving a baby a massage. Very gentle, very light pressure. Okay, perfect. So there's one last area, and I usually save it for last just because I like to wash my hands right after, and that is the underarms. So the underarms is actually the exit point for lymph to leave your body, or I should say the exit point of the upper body for the lymph to leave your body, and you want to sweat it out. And so we want to stimulate those lymph nodes because they are kind of the most important ones to be stimulating, so that they are releasing what we need it to. So just do a tapping motion right underneath the arm. I like to get the whole area. And then if I feel any stagnation as I'm doing my pulsing movements, then I like to give it just a light little massage. Okay, we're going to repeat the same to the other side. Okay, wonderful. So now I'm gonna go wash my hands and then we'll get started into the Gua Sha routine. All right, now that I've washed my hands, I'm going to apply the oil to my face. So I like to start by spritzing my skin just with a skin mist. This is Skin Recovery Mist from Glymed. Perfect. Just to introduce some moisture to my skin, and then I'm gonna apply the ÂN-BALM. So because I'm doing my neck, chest, and face, want to be using about a blueberry size amount. Just put that in the palm of my hand. You can see it's solid, but once I start working it into my hands here, now it has completely liquefied. So I'm gonna spread that all over. Across the chest. And I like to go right above the eyes as well, so that there is no tugging. Kind of buffers the skin around there, that there's no tugging. And right now I'm not massaging the oil into my skin, I'm just applying it. Get in front of the ear as well. Okay, so now that my oil is evenly distributed and my lymph nodes are activated, we can now go in with the Gua Sha routine. So I like to pick one side to start with first, do that whole side, and then move on to the next. So I like to start with this side. This is where I'm going to start here. Grab your Gua Sha and taking the sharper edge here, I'm going to start along my jawline here. So just use one hand to hold your skin taut while you are pulling the Gua Sha the other way. Again, if you find that it is pulling your skin, then grab a little bit more oil to just provide a bit more of that slip so you're not constantly tugging at the skin. So going right along the jaw here, it's getting the bottom and the top here. Just lightly pull it back and then bring it down to that area where that lymph node is sitting. You just want to do that a couple of times. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm gonna take this side here and go right along the top here. And in terms of pressure, you want to use a light to medium pressure. Like, think about when you squeeze an avocado to check if it's ripe. You're not applying a lot of pressure, but just enough to see if there is a little bit of softness to it. That's kind of the same pressure that you want to use when you're doing Gua Sha. Because the whole purpose is you want to stimulate lymphatic flow and not cut off lymphatic flow. When you're pressing too hard, you're cutting off that lymphatic flow. So instead, lighten up your touch a little bit and encourage that flow. So next, we're going to stimulate the node against the nose. So taking just a sharp side or a more pointy side. Just going to stimulate that a little bit. Okay, and then now taking flat side again. Think about picking up the lymph. So I don't want to go completely flat against, because it's not really, you could do it, but I find that it's almost nicer to angle it a little bit so that it creates this like little pocket where you can now sweep and drag it away, and it's a little more controlled. So taking that and just going to the edge of the face and then down. The path that you want to follow is, here's the lymph node, here's your cheekbone. You want to follow and bring that right underneath the cheekbone and then away to the ear and then down. Okay, now that I've done that a couple of times, I'm going to use this side. So this actually fits really nicely in the face. You can tell contours around the cheekbone and around the jaw muscle. So holding the skin tight, I'm just going to use my fingers here. Okay, so then now grab this side, and you kind of want the flat part of it right here in the corner, and hold that against that lymph node there. And we're gonna glide just along the bottom of the eyebrow. And think about, again, that think about like if you are sweeping, you don't just like sweep like this and hope that it's all staying controlled in one spot. No, you sweep in one motion so that you keep that product, or the dirt, the dust, everything, you keep that all in a controlled spot so that you can drag it away. That's kind of what we want to do also. So try to keep an even pressure and hold on to that the whole time. So I'm just doing some light pumping movements first. And I'm almost doing like, before we were doing a pumping kind of like a tapping, whereas this you kind of want to do like press down and then out just a little bit, and then press down, out just a little bit, and kind of like keep circling back to that. But I'm always lifting here and then coming back to the start. So after I've done that a couple of times, going right underneath that brow bone. Perfect. So then now I take this jagged edge here, and this is going to help release fascia in my forehead. So just working on one side of the forehead for now. I'm gonna hold the skin tight from underneath and then do a zigzag motion while pressing this into my skin with just light pressure. Now you may find you get a little bit red. That is totally normal. It's only going to last temporarily, just for a few minutes. So what this is doing is breaking up stagnation. And it's also going to help to break up any wrinkles. So the fascia, it's like a web, right? And when that web is super tight, it needs to be fluid and have some movement to it. But when that web is super tight, well then now it's going to kind of stay tight in that one spot. And you may find that your wrinkles look exaggerated. Loosening up the fascia is a great way to help relax those persistent wrinkles. Now, I'm not saying it's going to totally take them all away, but it can help to relieve the tight tissue around it that keeps that wrinkle tight in that spot. So just relaxing everything a bit more. So then after I've done that a little bit, you can see just a little bit of pinkness. Take this flat side here, and then we're just gonna drag to the outer part of the face. And if you find yourself having more saliva or fluid in your mouth, in the back of your throat, in your neck, that is totally normal. And if you find yourself swallowing more, that is totally normal. And in fact, that's a good sign that it's working. Everything is moving and flowing. Okay, so now everything is collected to the outside of the face. We need to push this down to the underarm to be released now. So we're gonna start at the top, grabbing whatever side you prefer. I like just a bit of a curved side here. Going along the edge of my face. Bringing that down to that little lymph area. that a couple times. And this is just something that I prefer to do. I like to go back to the jaw and just kind of sweep away anything that is still residual there. Just a reminder again to use light pressure. Okay, so now that it's all collected back here, we want to move this down to the collarbone. So there's actually a muscle that runs right along the neck here. If you turn your head slightly, you'll be able to feel that muscle. So that's the muscle that I like to work around, because right in front of it, that is where that lymph is all sitting. And if I use this contour of my Gua Sha, it is really nicely able to push down the lymph from the one side while also massaging that muscle in between the little tool here, the little gap. So placing it right in between there so that it's hugging that muscle and pushing just slightly down on the side where the lymph is. You see what I mean? Right here. Just want to bring that all down. When I get to the bottom, I am lifting my hand and coming back to the top because I don't want to drag it all back up again. I want it to all go down. Okay, so now that I've done that, we want to go along the collarbone. So taking that curved edge again, hugging the collarbone, just gonna be gliding that. So think of the lymph nodes like a train station and your lymphatic pathways like the train tracks. We want to bring trains between stations and we have to follow the train tracks to do that. So right now our train is en route to its final destination. Okay, we've done that a couple times. It's all gathered here now. Taking a flat or bigger side, just start up here and push that all down to the underarm. Again, not going too aggressive with your pressure. I can feel that. Okay, there we go. So now we have done one side of the face. I would just go and complete the same thing to the other side of the face. And that is my Gua Sha routine. You can see how it's even sculpted the side of my face. This one you can still see all the puffiness here, whereas this is so much more depuffed and sculpted. So it is really great to do this once a week, maybe before an event that you have coming up, or even in the morning. Start your day with depuffing your skin with this easy lymphatic drainage Gua Sha routine, and save this video so you can follow along with this tutorial. So there you have it. That is my Gua Sha routine. I hope that helped you as well. If you're interested in what I was using today and want to use the same products, I have them linked in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Share with a friend who you think might enjoy this video as well. If you post on social media or try this routine for yourself, make sure to tag me. I'd love to see. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.